Student, welcome to Environmental Chemistry Lab. Today we are going to perform the determination of chloride content in the given water sample. As an engineer, you must know what is the essential purposes for determination of this chloride content. As you know, there are various industries like textile, paper industries where we have to generate the steam. So boilers are used there. So if your water contains the chloride, at that time, due to the high pressure and temperature, it gets converted into the acidic form and it gives you the formation of sludge and scales. Okay, so you know that when we talk about the impurities present, so they are causing the hardness to the water. Okay, so it is divided into temporary and permanent hardness. When we talk about the temporary and permanent hardness, you must know that the calcium and magnesium ions are there. If they react with the chlorine, sulfate and carbonate, it will give you formation of this kind of salts. And this salt lead to the hardness of water. So, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, calcium sulfate and magnesium sulfate, these are the salt which leads to the hardness of water. Okay. So, this is related to hardness of water, and so it is essential to know or determine the chloride content of water. Now before that we must know how the solutions are prepared. Okay. Student, before starting our practical we must learn how to prepare the molar and normal solution. For that purpose I have taken here a simple example of sodium hydroxide. You know that suppose if anyone asks you that you have to prepare one normal solution of NaOH, at that time you have to basically calculate the molecular weight of this NaOH. Okay. Now you know that NaOH, it is the composition of sodium, oxygen and hydrogen atoms together. So we will take their atomic weight. For sodium it is 23, for oxygen it is 16 and for hydrogen it is 1. So total comes 40. So molecular weight of NaOH it is 40. So if you want to prepare 1 molar solution of this NaOH, then you have to dissolve 40 gram of NaOH into 1000 ml distilled water. Okay. The molar solutions we have to prepare the normal solutions also. So before proceeding for the normal solution, you must know whenever the base like NaOH it is dissociated, it gives you Na plus and OH minus. One hydroxyl ion we get from one NaOH molecule. So we can say that basicity of this base is 1. So when you want to calculate the equivalent weight of this NaOH, you have to consider this formula, that is molecular weight of NaOH divided by its basicity. We have just calculated that molecular weight is 40 gram. So it is 40 divided by basicity 1, it again comes 40. So for preparation of one normal solution, we have to dissolve again 40 gram of this NaOH into 1000 ml distilled water. You got it? Then see here, accordingly we can change our concentrations. Like if suppose if you want to prepare 0.01 molar, 0.01 normal solution, then you calculate. Like here, if I want to prepare 0.1 molar, normal solution of this NaOH, then simply divide this. When we dissolve the 4 gram of NaOH in 1000 distilled water, we get the normal solution of 0.1 normal solution. Okay. Determination of chloride content, we require the titrant silver nitrate. Before proceeding, we have to prepare the 0.01 molar AgNO3 solution. So how to prepare this? So you have to calculate first of all the molecular weight of silver nitrate. Here silver nitrate, it contains the atom of silver, nitrogen and 3 oxygen. So 107 will be the atomic weight for silver. Then for nitrogen it is 14 and for 3 oxygen it will be 16 into 3, that is 48. So when you summarize this, it comes 169. So when you dissolve the 169 gram of this silver nitrate into 1000 ml distilled water, you get the quantity for 1 molar silver nitrate. Now here we have to calculate the quantity for 0.01 molar. So you just divide this by 100, we get 1.69, and when we dissolve this 1.69 gram into the 1000 ml distilled water, you get formation of 0.01 molar silver nitrate solution. Okay. So, for the determination of this chloride content, we have taken here the tap water as a sample water, then 0.01 molar AgNO3 solution. It is stored in the ambered color water, as silver nitrate is having a reaction with sunlight, so that it is stored in the ambered color water. You can see here this is a potassium chromate. It is taken as a indicator. Taken the burette and it is washed with the water. Afterwards I have filled this burette with the AgNO3 solution. Now I want to show here that when you fill out the AgNO3 solution, you must remove the air bubble here, and your lower meniscus of this level should touch the zero level. Okay, so that is the process for burette filling. So remember that whenever you fill the burette, there should not be any content of air bubble. Okay, so it is perfectly filled now. Now we have to take the water sample, which is we will going to take the 25 ml. For that purpose I have taken here measuring cylinder. When you take any measurement, you have to keep the measuring cylinder in view of your eyes and take from the side of measuring cylinder. So you can see here that there is no generation of air bubble. You have to fill the water from the side of measuring cylinder. So this is exactly 25 ml. So I am going to transfer it into the conical flask. Now we have to take here 2 drops of our potassium chromate indicator. Role of indicator is that it will tell you where the reaction is end. Okay, indicator indicates you the end point of reaction. So once you put 2 drops of this indicator, exactly, so you get the formation of somewhat yellowish color. Okay, so we will titrate this solution now with our AgNO3, that is silver nitrate solution. Now the end point of reaction is that this yellow color get converted into brick red color, so it will indicate you the presence of chloride. Okay, so see here, you have to titrate the solution drop by drop. You can see here there is a formation of precipitate. At the surface level there is formation of brick red color. Why? Because whatever chlorine is there into the water, the silver nitrate, it will react with this chlorine content and give you the formation of AgCl2, that is silver chloride precipitate, and nitrate ions get separated, hence there is formation of brick red coloration. So you have to continuously titrate this up till you get the brick red coloration. Add dropwise and continuously stir the solution. You can see here at the surface level there is the development of brick red color. It shows that reaction is going on and nitrate ions are separating with the formation of silver chloride precipitate. So at this point you have to note down the end point of reaction. You can see here this is 11.2. Okay, the meniscus is touching to the point level 11.2. So your first reading, constant burette reading, we will going to take the 3 reading, and afterwards we will take the constant burette reading. So this is 11.2. You have to repeat the procedure for 2 times, and afterwards you have to take the constant pure rate reading, and from that CBR you have to calculate the chloride content as per given formula. Okay.